I'm out deep in the bush today. Got the storm clouds rolling in. I'm gonna be spending the night out here, and all I have to survive is this roll of plastic wrap. I'm gonna make a shelter with this, cook some delicious food tonight, and hopefully survive the night without getting soaking wet. So step one, gotta find a nice spot. I'm looking for 4 trees, spaced perfectly apart. Those will be the corners of my shelter. I can just wrap around them to make the walls and hang some sticks up to make the roof. Well, I think I found my spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next step, I'm gonna frame up the roof. I'm gonna get the roof done first just in case it starts raining early. All right, so I got the frame all set up for the roof. Got it slightly angled down this way, so any rain should be able to roll right off that. Now time for the fun part. Let's wrap this thing. All right, first layer of the roof is done. Just gonna do 1 layer for now, just in case we run out of wrap. A few gaps on the side. Gonna have to figure out how to fill those in. Now, I gotta figure out how to do the walls. That's gonna be the bulk of the work, so let's get to it. The rain is rolling in. Let's get this done. Got a nice layer here on the outside. Just need to fill in these gaps here. Got all these edge bits done. Just doubled it over here. Learned that technique from my old days at the furniture store. So, running low on wrap. Just gonna do a couple quick laps. Just lock all this in, close up any little gaps, and we're done. Here we are, just in time for the rain. Got a tiny bit of wrap left, just because this will adjust. It's stretched in weird places, and probably a few gaps will open up, so I'll be able to patch those up later. But let's take a look. All sides are secure. Got a few gaps here at the corners. Didn't want to waste any more wrap just yet. And I got a small door right here. It's a little tight getting in. Once I'm in, I'm dry, I'm protected. It's pretty nice in here. Got some apricot cream cheese, some cracked pepper crackers. Delicious appetizer. Well, sun's setting, time to cook some dinner. What better thing to cook over a campfire than a massive T-bone steak? Super excited for this. So this isn't actually my first time making a shelter like this. I made one previously when I was in high school. I used to work at this furniture store, and we used this wrap to wrap pretty much every piece of furniture that went out the door. So I got really good with it. And every now and then there'd be a damaged roll or just a few extra rolls laying around, so I'd collect them, and I had a whole bunch. Ended up bringing them home, and this one weekend I went out. I made a structure similar to this. I mostly used the wrap and braided it to make like a really strong rope, and then I tied up massive logs and made a shelter similar to this. It ended up getting taken down when there's a whole bunch of logging in that area, but I had a lot of fun out there. I actually had a really big accident where I slipped my finger open. I had to get 9 stitches in my finger. Actually, funny enough, it was using the exact same knife that I have here today. So a lot of good memories out there, and I've been thinking about doing this for a long time since. And I was just walking through the hardware store today. I saw this roll of wrap. It was 20 bucks. I thought, yeah, that'll be enough. I want to do this again and maybe make like an A-frame or something like that, where it maybe even is a little more water resistant with a steeper roof, and then do some stuff on the inside, like maybe make like a sling bed with plastic wrap. Tons of different things you can do. Steak is looking delicious. Fire is perfect. Shelter behind me. It's a good night. Steak is perfect. Nice and smoky. That was incredible. Well, shelter's holding up pretty nice. I think it's gonna be a good night. So it just started to rain pretty heavy here, and right about here we just had a massive bit of water pooling. Just randomly woke up, looked up and saw it was pooling right above my head. So I just moved my bed out of the way. Not even 30 seconds later, it just starts gushing out of here. So I moved my bed like just in the nick of time. Gonna have to keep an eye on that. Well, made it through the night nice and dry. Just barely. Had some pretty heavy rain, and I woke up with a massive puddle right above my head. So I moved the bed, and not even 10 seconds later, the puddle collapsed and just poured like probably 10 liters of water directly where I was sleeping. But we managed to stay dry. Gonna see if we can gather enough dry material so we can make a fire this morning and roll up some coffee. Alright, everything is completely soaked this morning. Managed to find a handful of semi-damp sticks, and had some old plane tickets in my backpack I found. So, gonna give this one shot, see if we can make a fire, have a coffee. If not, going to a cafe. Well, I gave it a good solid effort on this fire. Even with the printer paper, couldn't get it going. Just even though that was sitting in my bag last night, it's still just damp and humid from the air. And everything around here is just soaked. Definitely should have thought of that last night, gathered some dry material inside the shelter. But that's all right. You live and you learn. So this shelter's serving pretty well, but it could definitely use some improvements. First of all, the roof. We either need a much steeper pitch or we need like an A-frame. The door was a little bit awkward as well. Just a little tight getting in there. Should have thought that through a little bit more. All these corner gaps, they worked pretty well. During the heaviest part of the rainfall, I could feel a little bit of water splashing through, and I'm guessing it was from these corners. But other than that, everything held up nicely. And even though there were some spots on the walls, like right here, there's only one layer of plastic, it held up really well. Didn't leak or anything like that. So better door and a better roof, that would make a big difference. That was a lot of fun and it worked a lot better than I thought it would. Well, it's time to hike out of here. That was a lot of fun, and we definitely need to do a version 2. Make sure you tune in next time for another adventure.